I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song.
Everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Tailwalking Legends, proudly brought to you by 5K Yarns. Today is Sunday, the 21st of June 2026. Now, this is a show where four blokes, unfortunately there's only three of us tonight, so not sure what happened to Sir Coppo, but anyway, we'll get there. We obviously spend too much time talking about parkrun in the background, and we actually wanted to bring it live in way of a YouTube and a podcast feature. So somehow I've been able to convince these legends to join me in this conversation, so that other people might listen, or alternatively they might actually fall asleep, which is probably going to be a bad thing if they're going to be driving while they're listening to this or even watching this. Now, before we get started, I'd like to introduce the Tailwalking Legends. Now, I want to share a little fact with you guys around our stats. Now, between the four of us, so obviously Cobbo's included in this, do you believe we've done 1,384 parkruns?
Wow.
We've also got 760 volunteer credits. So that is a combined total credit of over 2,144. So that sounds incredibly impressive, doesn't it? But wait until you hear what we have to talk about over the next hour. So joining me on this shenanigans journey are usually three absolute legends. The first one, for some reason, he's gone AWOL. So how can I introduce Sir Copper?
He's gone from 1 to 3.
Anyway. The next gentleman, very special guy, representing the nation's capital and probably still out campaigning for something. He's the mayor of Tuggeranong, Mr. Tyson Flynn. How are you, mate?
Good, thank you, Mr. Billington.
Time out. You don't do time out. All right, and then joining us somewhere between a parkrun course and a Viking longship is the Viking. How are you, mate?
Excellent. Yourself?
Now, do you remember? Good. Do you remember the line I gave you, or did they just go?
Skull. Cheers.
That's it. Hey, let's do this.
I remember the first half.
I don't really need an introduction. I'm just Billo. Okay, I'm just Billo. So the plan is for each of us to get together, or all of us combined, really, get together once a month and talk about all things Barcode related. The places we've visited, the people we've met, the events we've tail walked at, and the coffee that we've consumed, and stories that make this community what it is. Because every Barcode has a story, right, guys?
Yep.
True.
Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about a couple of topics, and some of these things are, I suppose you could see a little bit controversial. I don't think they're controversial at all, but this is why we want to talk about it, because, we want to bring some honesty to the table. So we're going to talk about artificial intelligence and the part it plays in the parkrun world. So I want to get each of your thoughts on artificial intelligence, and then I can finish with mine. So rock, paper, scissors, rock it out, cut it out. I don't know, do whatever you want to do between you two.
You want to go or me? Okay, yeah, no worries. Look, I'm all for it on a event page perspective. I think it creates a good bit of fun. It can illustrate your event to a different type of level and audience as well. And it's the way of the future. Like, we're already in 2026. Some of the posts that I've seen from event teams are harmless, they're fun, and they're uplifting for each generation, whether that's the oldest one or the youngest one. They're reaching out to like I said, to all generations to get to get them involved in parkrun on a Saturday. So I think at that level, it's very harmless and it's good fun. So I can see it being, not everyone's cup of tea outside of maybe parkrun, and that's fair enough. Everyone's got their own prerogatives when it comes to AI, and I think some of the stuff that I've seen's been wonderful. Actually, some of it's been top notch. Like, it really is. It's great to see. So I know at Tuggeranong we post just our normal photos. And what do I mean by normal photos? That's just something that has been taken in the weeks leading up to that event, and that's random photos in random spots, and that's well received as well. But I also think the AI stuff is fabulous. It's really good. It's really creative. So
yeah, no, I think you've made some valid points there, Tyson. I think there's definitely a mixed reaction, and I guess two groups of two camps really clearly with their thoughts with the use. So what about you, Mr. Viking?
I just think it's part of the future. I seriously didn't know a couple of years ago what was going on. I was sort of mixed emotions about it, AI. But I see, like Tyson said, some of the work they do to set up, like on the internet, like the pictures and stuff. I have no dramas with it. I think it will be. I think it's a great tool, and I just don't. I don't understand how, in a way, it will be harmful or can be harmful. I'm not sure. I just think it's a part. Yes, it will be a part of life, and we just got to embrace it one way or another. Everyone will have their own opinion, and everyone will have a way of looking at it. But I think it's great.
Yeah. So my view on this, and Tyson knows my position on this because we've had a bit of discussion in the background, and I can see there's the two angles with this, and I've had conversations with various people, and I think it's disappointing that a certain tourism parkrun group, which a lot of people look to for, I wouldn't say guidance, but information on what parkruns are out there, and I think it's a good guide for people to go to and be able to say, hey, I want to go and check that out because that looks really interesting. And very disappointed this particular group's taken the stance of no AI images, and I think it's probably a little bit deeper to the individuals that individual. I'm going to say one. I think it's really only clearly one person within that administration team that's managing that group that, for whatever reason, they feel strongly against it. Now, the way I look at it, it's this. If you don't jump on the journey and jump on the ride, you're going to be left behind. I think this person's an incredibly intelligent person, but I think it's more about a control mechanism in the background than the desire to use it. Because you look at a lot of, as Tyson's already mentioned, a lot of parkrun pages, a lot of them are using it already for announcements of things like, anniversaries and up and coming special events and things like that. So I think it's disappointing that this particular group and look, and at the end of the day, I really couldn't care less if they hear this and see this. I'm not going to hide behind my feelings and my opinions on it, and that is truly my opinion. On the other side of it, if people want to go along and be sheep, and I actually created an AI image post not long ago. Unfortunately, in the world, we do have sheep that, for whatever reason, they like to just follow along, not upset people, not say anything out of line, and just go along on the journey. And look, that's their choice. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those sort of people, and I never will be. If I don't like something, I'll be respectful about it. I won't go out and sort of get in the person's face and have a full-on argument. You're not going to achieve anything by doing that. But at the end of the day, AI, and my question back at these individuals, because I have heard a couple of comments. One was around it's damaging to the environment. Okay, well, how do you see that? It's damaging to the environment simply because you've got these, I guess, centres set up with computers that obviously are processing artificial intelligence information, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to consume a lot of things like electricity and energy, and they're going to consume a lot of things of like water to cool them down. Now, my problem with that viewpoint is that they need to be set up so that they are environmentally friendly. So as such, it's not the AI that's the issue, because there's computers, cloud storage devices. I mean, I'd have to say probably 99.99% of the software featured and that used on your smart device and your phone, AI controls that in the background. So I would actually say to those people, if that's your view, then maybe you've got to stop using technology and stop using, I mean, Google Maps, for example, the ability to reroute around, congested traffic or an accident and things like that, that comes about with AI integration in the background. So that's just my spin on it. That's just my angle on it. As you know, guys, I do a lot when it comes to image creation, and I tell you what, it does get it bloody wrong. To give you an idea, the actual promo image where it tried to feature the four of us and have our names on that, don't know, I mean, you would have seen that. I reckon I had to tell the AI, tool to regenerate it and rework it probably 27.83 million times to get it right. So it does get it wrong, and this is where going back to really what you both touched on. I think people are fearful of it, and I think it's a great tool to be able to use as long as you've got a half intelligent person using it, and they're not wholly and solely relying upon it as their source of information or their go-to tool for information. I think you have to be savvy to be able to say, "Hey, hang on, that information doesn't look quite right, or that image doesn't look quite right." And I think if you're going to post that information without actually doing some checking behind the scenes first, then yes, it's potentially going to provide misleading and therefore dangerous information. Yep. All right, so that's my spin on that.
Yeah, can I just add something?
Next up, we're going to, yeah.
But even like something similar, like before you write a post or do even something, you write down something or type up something anyway, you're gonna have to recheck it or re-edit, or like I'm not the best with English anyway. So even when I like write something down or I go to post something,
I think Scandinavian is his main language.
Sometimes like you got to redo it or say something. It's just yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think that's the problem with the internet and really social media. There's lots of crap that's on there that's not factually backed up, and I think that's where it does fall into that dangerous space.
Yeah, I agree, and I think all those posts that are out there on those event pages, like you said, Matt, they're to illustrate, anniversary, someone's milestone. Really, that's all it's about. At the heart of it, that's really what it's about, and they're putting images on there that are AI generated, and I can't see a problem with it. I mean, it's overkill in some regards. It's
a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
And look, and I think, and I think you'll find that even such things as the Parkrun app, which was obviously formerly the 5K app, as that evolves and moves forward, I think you'll find there'll be an AI integration in the background of that.
Of course.
If there's not already.
Yeah, it's starting to look like that's
this really does blow out those individuals. It blows their thoughts out of the sea, out of the ocean.
Yep.
We'll leave Paul to do that. He can blow them out of the ocean on his Viking ship.
He's rowing.
So next up, let's talk about. There was an announcement. Now, I first saw this announcement on a parkrun based podcast. So in the UK, they actually With Me Now podcast, they put an announcement on it, and I'm thinking, well, it's come from the admin, so and the person, I don't know whether you know much about the people that are behind that podcast, but Danny Norman, who's obviously one of the co-hosts, he has been involved in parkrun for a long time. He's actually the second highest number behind the most recent guy, Darren Wood, to get to 1,000 park runs. So Danny's not that far away. But anyway, getting to the point I'm trying to make here is he actually put an announcement on their page about this. And I thought, hang on, we're not April. Surely this can't be true, because I know there has been some talk and thoughts, and I know that I've asked a question around milestones when I had you guys on the episode that I did with each of yous, the 5K yarns. And can you believe it's over 12 months ago now we did that?
I know.
Anyway,
I saw
getting back to it.
Yeah, I've seen yours.
Memory
You
came up
reshared it.
a couple of weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So the thought around milestones, what do you guys reckon? We'll let you go first, Mr. Viking.
Well, I always thought that it's a long way. It's a difference between, like, when you first start and you have your 25, 50, 100. That's fair enough. But when you go from 100, I think it was 150 or sort of 250 and then 500.
Yeah,
I thought that was fair enough. But then when you get to 500 to 1,000, that's at 10 years.
That's right.
So it's a long way away. And I even said that even if it was every second 100, so if you said, for example, if you went from 25, 50, 100, 200, and then you had like 4, 6, 8, and then 1,000, I think I would like that better. But I think now it's like they're going to make it like every 100, which I'm not like disappointed, but I think it's every 100's like every 2 years.
Yeah.
If I'm correct.
Yeah, well, it would be, yeah. So roughly every 2 years, which is,
if you do one every day, so every Saturday, it'll take you approximately just under 2 years to get a milestone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Tyson, what are your thoughts, mate?
Oh, yeah, look, I think my sentiments are the same as you two boys. I think, as Paul's touched on, you start out there and you get through 10, 12 and you go, okay, this is a good thing. It's a community-based thing, and you get to 25 and you get your little purple shirt from that, and you think, okay, all right, there's other people here that have got a red shirt and a black shirt and a green shirt, and you get driven to get to that level and achieve something there for yourself, whether that's through running or through volunteering. But the gap from 100 to 250, to be honest, I don't mind that, because that then indicates to me there's a lot of dedication there for the next, as Paul said, 3 years. So if you're averaging 50 a year, then you're getting that 250 shirt in another 3 years. So you've knocked out 2 if you're consistent. So the 100 to 250, I never really thought that was too much of a problem. But when I figured out that it was the 250 then to 500 to go and essentially do what you've already done over 5 years, to then get your reward of having the 500, and then 500, and then going for another 10 if you're fit and able enough. Let's face it, like some people start out when they're 50, 60, 70, 80. I mean, my goodness, that chap in New Zealand last year that reached 100 parkruns, and he was over 100. So, that's crazy.
Yes.
Someone like Zach, for instance, he's done 100 and he's 11th. So, to get to 250 for him, that's no problem. If you're a junior, then that's okay. You got time on your side. But I really think that if they were to look back at it in hindsight's a funny thing, isn't it? Like to look back and go, well, if we'd done 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 500, how many more people would have stayed around? I think a lot of people would have, if they were to have them in increments of 100. But I think that 1 to 250, they're your people that want to hang around, and the ones that want to go from then 250 to 500. Well, that's like most of us. I'm speaking on behalf of most of us, that you want to see that blue shirt arriving in your letterbox there, that package coming through. Yeah. But I think initially they probably would have thought, this won't really ever. We won't really see someone get to 500, let alone 1,000. But as time's gone on, I reckon they'd look back and go, yeah, it could have been a bit of a misjudgment perhaps on their behalf, but who's to know? You know, like those guys that made that call initially, are they still involved in parkrun? Do they still hold a position? What does Paul think about it himself? Sorry, not the king above me in this chat, but yeah, the big man Paulie over in the UK. I think the increments are going to be good for the new generation or the next generation coming through. So, like I touched on with someone like Zach, he goes, you know, I go from 100 to 200. How good's that? I get another you know, plaque or shirt or bib or buff, sorry, or you know, something that's acknowledging what his achievements are essentially.
Yeah.
Well, that's only
I'm
my
actually
opinion.
going to go. No, that's good. And really, this is what this is all about. It's about everyone having their own views and opinions. And I don't think anyone's actually 100% right, okay,
Yeah,
in whatever way they decide to go,
exactly.
because, you know, everyone's got their view.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to go against this. I'm not a big fan of it. I'll tell you why. All right. You go to any park run now and you have a look how many people are actually wearing, a little bit hard this time of year, but during summertime, you have a look to see how many are actually wearing Milestone shirts. Now, to be honest with you, this is my personal view and my opinion, is that when you get people that go out there and they're wearing their 500 shirt and whatever, I think it's a bit of a wank factor. It's a bit of a look at me, look how many I've done, look how great I am.
Yep.
And I think the true message behind this that's missing, and what I think the reason why Parkrun have brought this into play, is to try and get continual engagement.
Yep.
Now, with that, obviously, there's no such thing as a free shirt anymore. You have to pay for them. So I honestly believe a part of this is around income revenue generation for Parkrun
You
Global.
two are old enough. You know, you would have got your free shirts at the start. Come on.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But then they recognised that there was a point that wasn't sustainable.
Yeah, and
So
it's
hence
not.
the reason why they changed suppliers. And as they go down, well, all you got to do now is you've got to pay for your shirt, and you know, I mean, yes, it's a cheaper price. It's
Yeah.
not. I don't think it's like a full retail price. So I would say that part of it's probably still subsidised through sponsorship. But I think in general terms, to me, I think this is really about, you know, income generation for Parkrun Global. Because let's be honest, I mean, as much as they want to keep it free, it's something that's going to have continual cost in one way or another to grow. I mean, and hence the reason why they, as a business, because essentially that's what it is now, even though they come under the category, you know, as a charity, specifically in the UK. I've never really heard them being promoted as a charity as such in Australia.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, if you guys, yeah, I just haven't heard it being really promoted as a charity in Australia. But yeah, no, I honestly don't believe it's going to be that telltale difference to be able to get engagement and people to keep coming along and keep committing. And then, you know, I guess that you think about your journey when you first started. Okay, my journey when I first started, I attended the same parkrun event, I think 28 times before I realised, hang on, there's other parkrun locations out there. Can I go to other parkrun locations? And then I discovered tourism. And then, you know, the rest is history, as they say, from there. And I'll be surprised if you guys weren't the same in that space. So, I mean, you think about how many places you've been to and how many people you talk to, and the number of parkruns you've done, the locations. Their response is general. They'll look at you and their eyes will roll in their head thinking, wow, that's a lot. Oh, gee. And then you know, you make it a 360 conversation and you ask them and you say, well, you know, how many have you done? Oh, look, I've done X amount, but yeah, I've really only done them here. I mean, I've got a friend that will only do, and I'm not saying this is a wrong thing because that's entirely up to her, but she's only ever been to one other location. She's done over 120 something at the one location. And when I asked her about it, because she said to me, oh, look, I'd love to join you one day and do a touristy one. I said, well, you're more than welcome to join me. I'll pick you up on the way through if you like. Her response has been, "Oh well, I'm a creature of habit, and I really can't, change it. I'm happy just to keep doing the one I'm doing, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with
100%.
that, because at the end of the day, that's what parkrun's about, isn't it?"
I think really,
Well, that's what I say to
it's a
people.
50-50 split. They either go and stay at their own event locally, or they tourist. It really is one or the other.
Yeah.
Go, Paul.
I was going to say something very similar, that when I say to people, it's entirely up to you if you want to stay at one location, at your home location, or you want to discover different towns and be a tourist, and you still can do different, like in your own city, but you can go out and explore different places in different states and countries,
Yeah.
So... Yeah,
100%. I mean, I guess like in any area of interest, there's always two extremes. There's the people who'll just put their toe in the water and try it and think, that's okay. I mean, I don't know whether you've ever had a look. Probably not, because I'm probably the only nerdy one that does this sort of stuff. When I first started putting the podcast together, there was one person that I actually interviewed, and that was Roslo and Sheree Martin. So you guys would know of Sheree Martin, but I don't know whether you know of Roslo. So Ros is actually Sheree's mum.
Yep.
All right, and so I did a podcast featuring both of those, obviously with the 5K yarns. I recall one thing that that Ros mentioned, and that was around the I've lost my train of thought now, but it was around the I guess the engagement and so forth. Oh, that's what it was. She said, when she was into it, because I think she's now probably close to 600 park runs. If she's not up there, I'd be very surprised by now. Anyway, she actually said, I was a couple of years into it. So she was one of the co-founding event directors for Mount Barker parkrun in South Australia. And the conversation was one that she said, have you ever had a look at the numbers of you know how you got your barcode number, right? Have you ever gone 10 numbers higher and 10 numbers lower in the back then it was the 5K app, so obviously the parkrun app, and had a look to see how many parkruns people have done? I haven't, and I actually, out of 10 either side, so 20 in total, I reckon I counted probably about 6 that had done more than one parkrun. And out of that, there was probably maybe 7 or 8 of them that had never, ever recorded a parkrun. So to me, this really links back to the milestones. I don't think that's necessarily the right way, because I don't know about you. You go to something new and you think, and the next thing you know, they're promoting, you can get a 25 and a 50. Or you're thinking in your back of your mind, well, that's still 25 weeks worth of parkruns I've got to come back to. To me, it's more about engagement right on that very first one. And I think volunteers, positions, and specifically park walkers play a key part of enabling a person to come back after their first time, their second time, their third time.
Yeah.
Particularly if, we've all been to enough parkruns collectively to identify when someone sort of announces, put your hand up if this is your first ever parkrun, how nervous they feel. And then you actually watch them as they go and out there do the parkrun, and you can see whether they're connecting with people or they've come along with somebody. I mean, if they've come along with somebody who's already a park runner, hey, the chances are them coming back are high. But if they come out and it's the first time they're doing it by themselves, unless they've got that key individual in play, such as a park walker to talk to them and get to know them, then to me, they're probably not going to come back. So to me, that's what parkrun really needs to work on, not milestone achievements.
Yeah, that retention, that's
it's
something
all about the experience.
You go, Paul.
I was just going to say, it's all about the experience, like BILLO was saying, if depending how they, it's sort of not like how they get treated, but like how they get the information and how they feel at the end of it.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Anyway, let's move on to the next bit. Let's talk about where we have been over the last 4 weeks or the last month. Now, let's go back from recent, whatever way you want to do it. It doesn't bother me. You can go from your oldest to your newest. You can go from your newest to your oldest. So I'll let you go first, Tyson.
Yep. So
Most recent park run. Where did you go?
yesterday was at Lake Macquarie in up near Newey, and that's a very, very scenic course there. Paul, you've done that one?
Yes. We did it together.
Yeah.
Last
Lake Mac's great. Very scenic course there around the water's edge, and greatly participated event. There was, just going back to when you were talking about first timers yesterday, I think there was 2 or 3 that were there for the first time there yesterday, and I think all 3 of them ran because we said g'day to them as they came back past us, because it's an out and back course there at Lake Mac. So usually they're getting 400 plus type numbers there, so it's a big event. But no, all their volleys were great there yesterday, and weather was good. It was conducive. Not quite as warm as Canberra, but it was on par really. So, and then where else do I get to in June?
Are you having a laugh?
You've got it on your screen there, mate. You'll have to remind me where I went to. I've got this phone here looking back at me, so I can't go back in there and scroll down through. You've got all the access to data, Mr. Parkrun Store Command.
Do you reckon I have? Do you reckon I've got all the access to the data? I've only looked at my own. I haven't looked at yours, so I wouldn't have a clue where you've been. This is where I'm going to have to really test your memory bank and say to you, well, mate, you want to be a part of this, you've got to do your homework.
Lancefield in Victoria, which is a bit of a stone's throw from your place,
How
mate.
was Lance? Lance good?
Look, it's a tricky little course there. It's a repetitive sort of course there with its route. They've got a couple laps. You've done that one before, Billo?
2 lap. Yeah, it's a 2-lapper, isn't it?
All 3. They got 3 sort of little laps, but it's in and around
That's right.
multiple sports fields there, and there's an equestrian track in the guts, and look, it's a scenic type of course, but we were just unlucky with the weather there. It was a bit of an overcast day, but again, a small regional event there down in Victoria, which I must be honest with you guys, and I think I've mentioned it before anyway, is those regional ones, where you got 30, 50, 70 participants and, maybe 7, 8, 9 volleys. I'm really loving them because they're boutique. They're all for community.
Yeah,
when we talk about community and parkrun in the same sentence, that's a clear example of one is Lancefield. Really, a lot of the volunteers there are there every week. Actually, the cafe that we went to there after their event was really quite nice as well. We went to Mads yesterday there after Lake Mac, and that was really pretty little cafe there. I like those ones as well, the boutique ones there, and not a guru or something else. Lancefield, that's a good one to get to. Before that, Matt, you'll have to hit me up there. I can't remember where I was with the one before that.
Well, yeah, that's all right. You actually did.
Woden.
Between Lake Mac and Lancefield, you did Westerfolds Juniors.
Westerfolds Juniors, and I've done Aintree Juniors down there in Victoria, and that's another feather to my cap that I'm really loving at the moment is getting down there in Melbourne or just outside in the outskirts of Melbourne and doing an event, helping out there, and then on the Sunday morning going over to the junior events and just seeing the kids' smiles, mate. It's unreal. It really is great. And I don't need to tell you two about my hopes and aspirations for junior events across all states and territories in Australia, but getting to help them out is fantastic. And their event teams, they're run by parents, obviously, so huge numbers are needed to help out in terms of volunteering. With your ratios, especially for marshals, but that's a great thing, and looking forward to tapping into that a bit more at the back end of the year. But I remember the one that I did before that was Woden. Woden is Canberra's,
and I want to talk to you about this one.
Yeah, go for it. So Woden's the more most recent
you say
one.
you'll be first.
What's that?
You say your bit first.
Oh,
You
okay.
give
Yep.
your recap on
Yep.
Woden.
Yep. Woden, yeah. So it's Canberra's most recent one, set up by Lil, one of my mates, Lily Mooney, and a few others, of course. Not just started by one. It's a event that when they first started, I thought, geez, these numbers are going to be hard to retain them, but they've more than retained those numbers in the cooler months here in Canberra, and certainly in the warmer months when everyone's out and about and up and going. But their event's a very simple out and back. They're in the heart of Woden, and I think it's been well received because its catchment is quite large. There's a lot of units that have been built in that Woden town area over the last easy 10 years. So not only are those people coming, but the people that might not necessarily go to Tuggeranong or Coombs, which are sort of under 10 k's away themselves, respectively, they're looking for that option, and that's been provided in Woden, popping up on the ACT parkrun scene, and kudos to them. To quote Lily, kudos to them, and they've got a good little event there. I mean, it's a pretty basic parkrun there, and that's all it needs to be in some regards. But yeah, it's going gangbusters, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I went and did that one back, or probably a month and a half, 2 months ago now. Went up there. It was when Guy Sebastian was in town. Went and saw Guy Sebastian that night.
Yep.
And up and back. The other thing that I noticed too with that, and I have seen some information online, is aren't they improving the transport hub? So it's actually going to make it a lot easier to get to from other parts of Canberra.
So that's
to that location.
Got two parts to that answer. Sorry about those puns there, but they've recently put in a new terminus there at Woden for the buses. So that's really a fantastic thing, because I can tell you before that, if you're not to pigeonhole women, but if you're a lady there, sort of after dark, and that terminal there it was a scary place to be. But they've updated it, thank goodness.
That's all right. You can say what you like.
And
well, it would be. I could see how it would be, because even I got nervous walking through there during the day, mate.
Yeah. And the next part of the tram line is supposed to be going from the city across there to Woden. So if you were to be in the city, you've got that as a public transport option. And look, once that's up and going, that tram in the next 482 years, you'll be able to go across there quite quickly. So for all those Andrew Barr fans watching,
well, I was going to say, isn't Canberra the centre of Australia? Isn't that where everything happens?
Yeah, I mean, the beaches.
Isn't that where all the power brokers are?
The beaches speak for themselves. Like, I've been down there to Tuggeranong Beach and.
Unbelievable. What I was going to say about your visit to Woden town there, Tyson, Mr. Mayor of Tuggeranong, why the hell has it taken you so long to regain your capitalist? You live in goddamn ACT, fair income.
I think I touched on it earlier. They had, I think, 250 at their first event. And as a former ED, you're not allowed to sort of, announce all that sort of stuff. And, us three here see a lot of events get announced, and it's not the way that HQ want it, which, I understand it. But the second week they broke the ACT record. That's 781 in their second week at Woden. So after that, they've continued.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that.
They've continually had strong numbers, and I thought, I'll wait for this to die down, and the damn thing hasn't, which is great for the ACT. It's great that they've got the numbers that they do, but consistently, boys, like they're consistently smashing out those high numbers, and that's probably the real reason why I did wait. I thought it's gonna cool off at some point, but it just didn't. So,
I thought maybe it was because you were chasing a particular Wilson number or something like
Oh,
the Viking
I'm not
does.
like the big guy up there with that hat and that gorgeous grey beard. I don't chase the Wilsons. In fact, I'm the opposite of Paul on that one. We're very good mates and we love our parkrun, but that side of things it doesn't interest me at all. But yeah, no, Woden I thought I'd let die off a little bit, but no, they're going strength to strength. So and good on them, because we needed that next event there to sort of be as strong as it is, because there's a few spots in Canberra where we could have won, but would they have sustained the high numbers like Woden? Yeah, it's up for conversation and debate. So.
And I think that'd be a case with a lot of places where, parkruns have launched and I think that's really something that parkrun now look at. And I know that through the one that you guys are aware of that I'm looking at trying to get up going here, one of the main criteria they look at now is to make sure that it's sustainable and you're going to get good representation and support with the volunteer base. So, yeah. Mr. Viking, over to you, mate. The microphone's now yours. First up, yesterday, Macquarie University. You've been there like 25,000 times, haven't you?
It feels that way. Actually, it was my 10th time there, so I've hit double digits. I don't mind
so
it.
you got your junior achievement at that location.
I might have
Mel
to
Reed,
start
if you're
attending
watching,
uni
Mel,
soon.
get him a 10 shirt for Macquarie.
Would you be able to get one that big, though? That's the thing.
What was that?
I said, would you be able to get one in your size? Because 10s are a junior shirt.
He's been bulking up.
Maybe one arm.
Yeah.
This arm, isn't it? This arm controlling the Guinness pots?
Sorry. It's the right arm. That's more bigger.
Go on, Paul Boy, tell us.
All right, now come on, get back on task. Come on, get back on task. This is a serious podcast.
Yes, I've attended Macquarie Uni. It was my 10th time there. Obviously, I've done a few Wilson index numbers, and yesterday was number 84. So I'm just sort of filling in the holes now. I'll probably chase to about 100 to 120. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll get to 100 and I'll see what happens. So
there's a good chance, Tyson, if we're trying to track down the Viking, we'll just go to Macquarie University any given Saturday morning, and we might find him.
Absolutely, you hear him before you see him, which is lovely.
It is good, isn't it? That's good.
Well, I've always said.
Now I want to hear about your adventure last week. which is one that I've got on my wish
Moree,
list.
that looks good, Paul.
Which was Moree?
Yep.
Correct.
Or Aladala?
No, you haven't been. You went to Aladala the end of May, mate. So you're at Moree last week.
Yeah.
Yes, Moree. Yep. Well, so a few weeks ago, I was talking to a friend, or about 6 weeks ago, and I said to him if he wanted to come with me to Moree by train, because I've had other friends that's gone to Moree by train before, and they've said that it's nearby, like the train station to the accommodation to the parkrun. And so I was supposed to go a couple of years ago with some other friends, but unfortunately, father-in-law wasn't the best of health, so I actually ended up cancelling the trip. So it took me another year or so to sort of get back on track for that parkrun. But Friday morning, caught up with my mate at Central Station just before 9 o'clock, and we jumped on the train, departed 9:30, and then away we went up north. and it wasn't too bad. Play a few games on the phone, see a bit of scenery. It was nice, have a few nibbles, and the time went pretty quick. And we got up to Moree at 6 o'clock,
very
or
good.
just before 6. So 8.5 hours. And, we went for a 6-minute walk to the accommodation. We stayed at Bath's Motel.
You
I've
timed
seen
it.
that on Strava. That was that was my favourite Strava one from you this year, mate.
I've put a few locations on Strava.
Did you get the
What they
crown
say,
for
if
that
it
walk
hasn't
from the
happened, it's
train
not on
station to the
Strava.
hotel?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Woo!
I think he's paying you out.
But how was it as
I
a course,
know.
though, mate? How was Moree? They looked all right.
No, Moree was good. It was overall it was pretty flat, but it did have its bit of undulation. This is not too hilly. It's all on concrete paths, 2 loops. So out and sort of like an out and back course. It first went out sort of to the left, and you went to a what's the word? Like sort of out and back, and then you just went past the finish line, and then out the other way.
One of
then
those tricky ones.
Yes, but you sort of went out one way and came back, and then out the other way, and that was one loop sort of thing. Sort of out and back course by 2.
Yeah.
But 7
Now,
a.m.
what I'm going to do. Sorry to interrupt. What I'm going to do as a part of, so people know what you're talking about. When I actually edit this for the people who will see it on the YouTube, I'll actually obviously feature a map showing the course of what you're talking about for any of those as well, just for reference.
Can you get a
Right? Sorry, continue.
Paul, on the screen, like on the footy or anything, to illustrate where it goes?
It goes this way.
Now, what? So Moree's definitely a go-to parkrun and destination for a weekend. You reckon, Paul?
Well, it's some people say it has a bad name because of its crime and people around the area. But me and a couple of other friends, when we went up, we had no drummers. We were speaking to a few of the locals. We had no drummers. When we went out,
that's because he was wearing all his battle gear, Tyson.
When we went out at night time, we saw houses with.
I would be too. Having Paul walk towards you, it'd be like, no, I'm getting away from him. He's either crazy or he's fair income.
We saw some houses with barbed wire and grills on their windows, but we had no dramas. We had a lot of friendly people, especially at parkrun. So all is good is well.
Yeah.
And cars sitting up on Besser blocks with its wheels missing as a security device so people don't steal their car.
Well, that's why I took the train up.
Yeah, a bit hard to steal those wheels.
All right, that's the very first one.
Hey, that's why I took the train on. I walked around the town. Only my legs could get taken off.
Oh, so it was easier for you to knock off the wheels and put it into baggage on the train on the way back, or what?
Yes, correct, 100%.
He's a smart man, that Viking.
I'll tell you what, he's got to pay for his trip somehow. You might as well get 25 cents per wheel. So the first one you did during June, my friend, is I did read that it's actually been cancelled for a number of weeks or unforeseen when it's going to come back, and that was Reddall Reserve. Have you done Reddall Reserve as well, Tyson?
Yeah,
you would have.
Yep. You go, Paul.
So tell us about Reddall Reserve. Now Yep, good one.
Reddall Reserve is a stunning location. It's just past Wollongong at Wingdang, there on the coast. Beautiful location, seaside. Beautiful team run by Brendan and Ems.
Brendan, yeah.
Is Brendan? Yep. Champion of a bloke. And his daughter Ems is always
100%.
there. She's cool. Yeah, she's very cool.
I love her energy. I first met Em. Sorry to interject here, but I first met Em actually when I actually got my pirate challenge down all the way down at Cyril Curtin Reserve down near Williamstown in Melbourne. Brendan and Em were there, but then also another time was I think Em might have been the run director on the day when I did Shell Harbour. So anyway, continue.
Yeah, it's a beautiful out and back location on flat. It's as flat as can be, you know. I don't think there's any rises. Absolute stunning. The first time I went there was earlier this year, and it was absolute pouring rain teeming down. And I thought, need to come back. I have to come back. And I've come back a couple of times since, and it's been nothing but beautiful sunshine and stunning weather. Went for a dip in the water. It's just a wonderful location.
So those repeat visits, would they have anything to do with chasing Wilson numbers?
Maybe we should call him Tom Hanks instead of Viking.
No,
Wilson.
Viking numbers.
I'm going to buy you one of those volleyballs, mate.
Wilson, where are you? Give him a volleyball.
Yeah, that could be a secondary prop to go with the Viking, is that you take the Wilson ball to these events where you're ticking off a Wilson.
Have it on your arm.
Yeah. Actually, you need a new tat. You need to get a Wilson tat.
Did you see my, I don't know if you saw, about 6 weeks ago, I had my, what prop I had? Apart from the horns, I had the cricket bat because
he had the secondary prop
raised up
for his 100th Tailwalk at Macquarie.
Yeah.
I had the secondary prop for Tailwalker 100.
Well, that would be an intimidating sight. Cricket bat in one hand and a Wilson ball tucked under the other with his Viking kit on.
Look out, England, the next Ashes series. Paul's coming out to bat.
Watch out.
So did you want to hear about mine?
Yes.
Or don't you really care?
Yeah. Go.
Yes, we want to hear yes.
All right, because I really can't remember where I was like you, Tyson, 5 minutes ago, let alone 4 weeks ago.
5 minutes ago, you were with us, mate.
I have actually
I'd
made...
be hoping you'd remember that.
True. So my most recent one was yesterday to Red Hill Rail Trail down on the Mornington Peninsula. Now, that was a stunning location. I've actually done a video on this already, and I actually have already uploaded it, and it's online a couple of hours back. So that'll give a bit of a recap of what it's about. So as rail trails go, straight out, straight back, but there's nothing straight about it in respect of there's obviously been a lot of rain during the week, so it was quite boggy. And I did actually hear from various other sources and also the run director yesterday morning, saying that, two things you need to look out for. One is the hill. The other one is it gets slippery and muddy. And he wasn't wrong because, I reckon I did the old skating on ice, move, you're doing the whole keep going sort of thing. Anyway, tail walking, so that was good. So, got down and I'm getting towards the turnaround point. There's a marshal, obviously, positioned at the turnaround point. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm sure Anthony, who was the RD, he said something along the lines of the hill. I'm thinking, there's no freaking hill. until I turned around and I looked around and went, oh my God, 65 metres of elevation. So it's 65 metres going down, 65 metres going back up. So quite an interesting course, but I think it would be it'd be a good course, particularly during summertime, because lots of trees, lots of shade, very scenic. It was really quite even though yesterday it stopped raining just before parkrun, which is always the case. It never rains at parkrun, and then it was obviously boggy and so forth, but very enjoyable. And the go-to location afterwards, the local what do they call it? The cellar. I can't remember. It's on the video anyway. And it was a really, really nice, like just unbelievable bakery products and also coffee.
At the cellar door, did you mean?
That's
Week
that's
before
an
that, last
absolute
week,
wonderful place.
yeah, cellar door. That's it. That's it. Pyramid. What was it called? I can't even remember what it was called. Red Hill Cellar Door, cellar and pantry or something. I think it was called. Anyway, last week Lila and I went to Pyramid Hill Golf Trail. Now you'd love that one, Tyson, for several reasons. And I actually, again, put together my video, first one coming back in my recap of the parkruns I'm going to. And there was something really special about that location. There was only 12 finishes on the day, so myself and Lila were tail walking, which was good. But just absolutely stunning in the sense is you've got this, I'd hate to think how high it is. It would probably be at least 200, 250 metres high at its peak. Crop of granite boulders and obviously granite hill structure, and it's shaped like a pyramid, hence the name, Pyramid Hill. But right around it, it's just virtually all flat. And the actual parkrun course is 3 laps in a anti-clockwise direction around the base of the hill, and absolutely stunning. Definitely a must go to. The funniest thing though, out of this trip, was the staircase in the Victoria Hotel. It was the noisiest bloody staircase. Now this hotel, I think, was built back in the 1870s, and I reckon it still had the original staircase from back then. You could not step on. You couldn't. Every single step you stood on, it literally would have gone through the whole building. It was that freaking loud. I've never ever heard anything like it. So go back and have a look at that video, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank God I
The week
wasn't
before
there.
that was Point Cove. Oh,
Sorry.
mate, it would. You'd probably hear you in a chuka.
I would have probably gone through the staircase.
Oh, well, it would be. I must admit, I was a little bit nervous from that perspective, but apparently it's sound. They've pulled all the carpet off, and it's funny. I was talking about it with the cleaner the next morning, and she actually said, "Oh, I've been working here for 30 years, and it's always been this loud." I'm looking and I'm thinking, "You're kidding, aren't you?" Well, I thought I would have done something with it. The week before that was Point Cook parkrun. So that was one of those crazy ones. Get up at 3:30 in the morning, drive down, do Point Cook, have breakfast, drive back type thing. I guess the memory with that one and the outstanding thing with that one is it had been raining, and I was tail walking, went all the way out, and then on the way back, a conversation with a young girl that was doing the photography, and obviously, as you do, you talk about parkrun related stuff and what you've done and where you've been and that sort of stuff. And we got back, and everyone else was completely drenched. So they must have had an absolute downpour right on the start finish area, and somehow we missed it the whole way. So I don't know. I had the weather gods on my side. The first, actually, I'll do one more, which was going back to the 30th of May, and that was Lake Colac. Beautiful, absolutely sensational. Accommodation was easy to get to. So that one there, it features, you start on the foreshore, and it's all, it's all pretty much 100% concrete, maybe with a little bit of gravel and bitumen surface. So you start on the foreshore, you work your way up to the Botanic Gardens. You do 3 laps of the Botanic Gardens, and then you come back out down onto the foreshore. So at that stage, you've completed 3 kilometres. you then do a kilometre out and a kilometre back along the foreshore. So, really nice picturesque course where, you've got and there's a bat colony within the actual Botanic Gardens as well. And that, it's all those little things in my mind when you go to a place makes it special. The people you meet, the people you talk to, the community, obviously the things you can see too. So, that's the thing that, so I'd say the highlight for me for out of the four, it's going to be a hard one, but I'd probably say Pyramid Hill Golf Trail. I mean, look, no one should have a favourite. I think everyone's got their own. Every location we go to has got their own unique, thing that attracts them to the parkrun, and that's good. That's excellent. Because how boring would it be if you go to any given parkrun around the country or around the world and they're all the same? It'd be pretty boring.
True.
So moving on. Trying to think what else I can ask you.
I like 5K
we've
walks
all
on a
pretty much
Saturday morning
volunteered.
between 8 and 9. It's some states between 7 and 8.
I was going to say you'd be screwed if you're in Tasmania then, Tyson. You'd be all right.
You're going to sleep in down there, mate.
You'll have to wait for 9 o'clock at Tassie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. They have a sleep in. Pretty good. I must admit, have you done any Tassie ones?
Yeah, I've done 4.
Yeah. What about yourself, Paul?
I've done one in Tassie, but also in New Zealand. I done a 9 o'clock one. Because
they're not in New Zealand as well, are they? Oh, of course they would be.
Because the times change between winter and summer. So Queenstown, certain times of the year, they change their times between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. So I think generally...
I reckon there's merit for that in Australia as well, to be honest with you.
100%.
I think we should have daylight savings times and non-daylight savings times. That'd be the easiest way to set it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I've got nothing else to add to the party apart from it's been great to catch up with you guys. Now, one thing we must do, and I know we've discussed it, we've got to try and arrange it. I'd like to arrange if we can. I know maybe if it's once every 3 months, all 4 of us to get together at a location. That'd be pretty amazing, I reckon.
Yeah. And then we could do this from that.
We'll just have to have a
BILLO and Viking. Then we could do this show from their location.
Oh, well, that's what I'm thinking. We could do a live one every 3 months or something. That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it depends on whether we've got an audience or not, and whether we've put people to sleep.
Don't worry about them, mate.
Their cars
just worry about us
while they're listening to it. No, that's it. That's it. So, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and catching up with you. I think the easiest way to sign off is we are the Tailwalking Legends. So the numbers stack up, as I said right at the beginning of this episode. Between the 4 of us, we'll have to get into Coppo's here and make sure he's on the next one. But he seems to be like a quiet achiever, if you ask me. Probably don't see a lot of stuff with him as far as apart from his parkrun stuff. So look, that's okay. Everyone's got their what they do, and some of us are a little bit more out there than others. Yep. Like Tyson,
like Paul, like Matt.
That's it.
Oh,
so
just a little bit.
I want to just sign off by saying, just remember that every barcode does have a story, and this episode, I believe, has been an example of those stories and our experiences. So until next time, thank you for listening. Please leave comments and feedback. I'm sure that once I actually do the editing and put it out there, I'm sure both you gentlemen will share it and people will get on board. And at the end of the day, you're never always going to please everybody, and you know what, I don't care if I don't, but I think it's something that the entertainment factor, I think that's what people like enjoying, and particularly a lot of people we know enjoy about, what we do as well. So thanks, guys. Until next time.
Adios.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Over and out. Love you, boys.
See you
Hey,
guys.
boys.
See you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. We're living the dream. Go.
I don't see no red lights, no boundary. You are my getaway, you are my